Hello, everybody. Today we're gonna be making our um, candle set today. So we got our schematic in the top right hand side right there. This is what we created on a previous go. And it's fairly simple. I'll make that a bit larger. And so we got our 3 LEDs, our battery, and our switch. And that's what we're gonna put together today. So I'll leave this up here in the corner. And so what you're going to get in this kit, hopefully, is going to be your board, your PCB. You're going to get 3 LEDs, depending on which kit you get. You're going to get different colors. You got your switch, and you're going to get your battery holder, as well as a battery to go inside it. So actually we're gonna decrease that a bit more. Woo. So to assemble this, you're gonna need soldering. You're going to need your solder. You're going to need a soldering station. And you're going to need some pliers. So, let's get into it. First, you want to put your switch right into there. Let it sit in there. Doesn't matter which way it goes, as long as all 3 holes are, as long as the stems come through the other side. And what you want to do is you want to bend them into place. At least 2 of them. 2 end ones. And you want to do it on kind of like one goes that way, the other one goes that way. Opposite angles. That's what I'm going for. That's the first thing you do. Now, next, you're going to take your solder, and you're going to take your soldering iron, and you're just going to put a little solder on it. And there you go. You got your first solder joint done. I like to have a fan on in the back because that's kind of what it helps with fume extraction and stuff. So that's going to be there. So you take your soldering iron, you touch the metal part, and then you add the solder to it. And it should flow, so you're covering up the hole, and should end up like that. So you got, let's see if we can focus here. There we go. So there we go. We got our 2 beads on there, one on the right, one on the left. And they look pretty good. You don't want to over solder because then it could spill over into the other holes, and that would create an electrical connection you don't want. Next, we're going to do the third one. Solder there. Put your soldering iron to it. Touch the solder to it. It should be good. That one I added a bit too much. If you could see on that. Oh, come on, autofocus you. So you can see kind of the solder coming, just dripping off that. That's not a good connection. Well, it's not the best because it's just flying off the top. Normally, sometimes it would just drip down. Right now I'm using the lead-free solder, so it has a different, it's harder to work with and doesn't like to flow easily. So that's why it stepped up on that. Once you're done, you clip off the leads to the switch, and you make it even, try and get it flush, and you're good. And that's the that should be what that looks like. Next, we're going to move on to the battery. Now, this one, the orientation matters, but as you can see, there's this little rectangular piece in the circle. Now, if you guys can guess where that goes based on the drawing, the rectangular piece matches up with this rectangular piece on the board, and it should just go, you put right in, and that's going to be the battery holder. So you flip it upside down. Make sure you're doing this on a surface when you're soldering. Make sure you're doing this on a surface that has some that you don't care about, or at least have a placemat down or something, because just in case you get solder spilled over, it won't ruin your table or whatever you're working on. Soldering iron goes on there, warms it up, then you put the solder on there, just like that. Do the second one, and just like that. And there you go. Because these are spaced out a bit more, you can get a little bit more, you can get a little bit better solder joints than these ones. And again, that's what they look like. It's now held in place. It doesn't come out. And you're good. Next, you can trim these with a tin snip or you know, so, I just use these set of pliers. They got a nice cutting surface. I would not recommend scissors because it's too close to the board. So, yeah. Alright. The next thing is the LEDs. This is the last step. So, as you can see, on each one of these LEDs, they have a picture of a circle. A circle with a flat edge to it. If I can bring that up. There we go. So the flat edges that are on these things, you can see from LED 1, if we line this up exactly like the picture, you see the flat end on the surface. Oh, let's see if I can highlight that. Nope. Mouse doesn't show up, but if you see that flat line, that's important. That's an important indicator of where your LED is going to go. Because on your LED, if you look very closely, you can see that there's a flat edge right there. Let's see if I can turn it. It's towards the top now. I'm slowly rotating it. But you can see that one edge is flat. So that's how you're going to put these into the board, with the flat end on the flat surface. Now, if you can't tell which one of these is the flat edge of the LED, there's actually a simple thing for that. Let me shrink that back. You can see that one end is longer than the other. The shorter end is always the negative side, and the longer end is always the positive. The shorter end is connected to the flat surface of the LED. So put the shorter one towards the flat end right there. So you want to do it like this. There. And then hold it against the board. And then either with your fingers or with pliers, bend the wires. One way, one the other, in opposite directions. And it should hold that LED in there in place long enough for you to solder it. So we're gonna do the same thing with the other ones. What's cool is another nice trick to have before you solder anything together. If you want to ever check the LED, you get your coin battery. That's going to come in the pack. Nope. Let's see if we can focus. You get your coin battery. You get your LED. Now remember the long one is your positive, and the shorter one is your negative. On this battery, if you can see, it's got a plus sign there. That means the top is the positive and the bottom is the negative. If you slide the LED right in between the battery, it lights up. And that's how you can check your LEDs. That's a good way to do it if you're having an important project where you need it to work and you need to check everything. Get a simple coin battery, get your LED, put it right in between. Now we're going to do the same thing as before. The short end goes to the side that has the flat surface there. So the long side there, the short side there. Oh, yeah. So you see the long side goes there. Short side goes there. And it's in. Now we turn it over, hold the LED in place as close as you can to the board, and then smush the the leads in opposite directions to hold it there. And as you can see, we're good. It's not falling out. Now the last one, we're going to do the same thing. The short lead is going to go... Okay, so we've been orientating this towards that way. So the short lead, you can see the flat side on there. We got the tall lead on one side, and then the short lead closer to the flat side. Now with this kit, I want to put the LED markers closer to the longer lead of the LEDs. So that way you'll know that that's the positive side, and then the one with the flat end is the negative side. So you're going to have the words LED on the positive side. So you have a few indicators which way they're supposed to go. So now that we got that done, we're going to flip them around. Now you're going to take, again, you're going to solder these. We got our soldering iron. We're going to touch the LED, one of the LED leads. And then we're going to bring the solder in. There we go, that's one. That's two. Alright. We're going to do all of these all at once because I don't want to flip this around. Keep flipping it back and forth. That's why we put all the LEDs in at once, and why we bend the leads so we can do everything at once. Alright, so put your soldering iron to it. to the lead. You want to kind of rest it on the hole part, the tip. You want to rest it on the hole and have it touching the wire. Alright. The next one, we're going to do the same thing. Touch it. And then slowly bring the solder in and have it sit there. There we go. Now, next one, last one. Touch the soldering iron to the wire and the board hole. Slowly apply a bit of solder. You don't want too much again. Too much will make it too much will make it stick. There you got one. And there we go, we got two. They look a bit uneven, but that's because I kind of screwed up with the solder there. I put too much on that side. A few of them I got too much on, a few of them are just right. But this is a good kit to help you. I invented this kit to help with soldering and doing simple projects, so that way people can get encouraged to do more. So now that we've got all this, we don't need these leads anymore. Let's snip them off. Now you don't want to go directly against the board and try and do that, because that'll just snip off the solder bit that we worked so hard to get there. You want to pull it a little bit away from the solder joint. You don't want to be right on the solder joint when you do it. So just snip it off close, but not too far away. Okay, so like right there. You can see I'm cutting the wire. I'm bringing it all the way in. I'm cutting the wire and I'm trying to avoid the solder joint. Oop. There we go. There we go. We got our little project done. Our little candlelight. And so, next thing, put your battery in. You never install the battery until the project's done, because you don't want to overheat these things, because they could potentially cause damage. Okay, so it's in. And now let's flip the switch. And there we go. We got our candlelight. Let's see if we can turn it off. There we go. And so with that, we're going to have them in the yellow, the traditional yellow. We're going to have a blue one. Ooh. And we're also going to have a multicolored one. So we're going to have a few different designs, or a few different LEDs for you to choose from. Now, I like this because the LEDs don't need any kind of circuits really to make it flicker. That's all the LEDs doing. They design these specifically so that way you can just attach them and go. So again, this is going to be an easy project for beginners, because you just got 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 solder joints. So it's not too complicated. We did this within 20 minutes, this video. yeah, that's going to be it for today on this. I might jump on a bit later and do maybe some more because I got my other kits in. So I just got to get them ready to be seen, and we'll try it out. So, hey everybody, we finished our project. If you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe. I'll eventually have these up for sale on my store. And if you can't wait that long, I'll put links in the description below on like Amazon links and a link to order this board from JLC PCB. These guys are awesome. They usually get the boards done within like a week or two, and then they get them done within a week, I believe. And then I've had mine sent like within 2 weeks, ordered and at my house. So no affiliation, none of that stuff. I just like what they do. So anyways, have a nice, wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.